Hey everyone, it's Ryan bringing you episode 4 of the Intermediate Guide. In this guide, we're going to finish off the Piety Guide. We're going to be focusing on Apostolic Piety, talking about kind of what you want to be doing, how you want to settle your cities, what kind of religion you want to be building, and what it looks like, what you want to be looking for when you're going to build like this. So, with all that being said, let's kind of just jump right in. Hopefully, want to make this a quick video where it's more about the ebb and flow of what you should be doing as Piety rather than specifically how to go about your game. So, I did play through this a little bit. I will say that I did delete Brunei because he keeps taking my Pantheon on turn like 10. So hopefully this time it works. If it doesn't, oh well. Let's go top right because I have worker there. So this game, it's obvious, it's stone circles. A lot of people have been asking me to showcase stone circles because they think, you know, maybe they're playing it wrong or maybe they could have been playing it better, how I would play a stone circle start. So let's just kind of make that the goal where we're going to be trying to showcase there. And yeah, let's just go for it. Let's ruin. There's probably something on bottom right. So in this start, because I have stone circles, and I have a number of tiles I want to grow to, like these banana tiles, this stone tile, eventually probably my horse tile, this maze, like, and all of these are, and obviously like this looks like an incredible city on iron here. So I want to be able to grow to all of those. So I think a monument here is actually justified. It's justifiable. Maybe we get a pop rune too. That'd be nice. Okay, street of Posi. Okay, that's a pop rune. And that's another gold rune. Even on starts like this where you get a lot of gold ruins and you might be going to monument, I still would be very hesitant to buy a worker. Buying a worker on Piety, it's incredible how much it helps your game. That being said, you will like very much struggle. So let me talk about my tech path. So if I'm going stone circles, the only thing that changes is when I want to be teching my first Lux tech. I still need my chop techs more than anything, right? The priority is not about, oh my god, another marble, that's really good. The priority is not about improving my Lux. Lux is like super early on. It's actually, in my opinion, it's about how can I increase the tempo of my game as much as possible. And oftentimes the best way to do that is with chops, as I've mentioned numerous times at this point in my videos. But yeah, so chops are the main way we're going to be generating tempo. Grab that worker, bring this guy over potentially. Sure. This cross chop here. So I want to be chopping this iron. I want to be then chopping this coconut. This worker can come here, go straight to this obsidian. So in that case, I'm going to be buying this coconut tile. Let's go right into shrine, into worker. You know, one of the problems that you'll see is because I don't have a normal chop and all I have is a jungle chop. It's a lot harder for me to, like, I'm not able to one turn this worker, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's kind of annoying because I want to be able to overflow. So just something that's kind of frustrating, but what are you gonna do? So let's do this. Lots of overflow into a settler. 4 off. I should be able to get that. Yep, perfect. So let's bring this down, bring this over. And I think this can... Yeah, we need to chop that as well. Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. But it is going to be okay. Let's kill that guy. Bring this down. Chop, chop. stone circles. Phew. Then head to calendar. That is actually an issue though. And then here we go. Lots of tiles to work. Great, great. We're going to be having calendar this turn or next turn. So we're just going to stay on that tile. Bring this over. We have so much extra overflow. I'm so tempted just to one-turn this worker. And I think I will. One-turning workers to me is just such insane value. Let's just do that. Then we're going to go improve all of these tiles. And then I'm growing into that into 3, so I think it's fine if I kind of ignore this other stuff. Okay, unfortunately, Barb is there. Messing up my plans. So all of this is I'd say this is going rather well. Where am I gonna settle my next city? Probably right here. Want to make sure that I can get that marble tile, and then I can settle one down here. So very
the people of the United States
congested, I'd say, is how I'm feeling. But that's okay, you know, it's really not a big deal. And I can't improve that coconut right away either, which sucks because I really want that coconut to be improved. But I need to get the stone first. It's kind of the priority. And look at this. This is just why stone circles is so insane, right? Like, my God. And it's only going to get better. So now, after this is like, I got all my techs I needed, right? Masonry, bronze. Oftentimes, you don't even need these. So typically, depending on how many trapping luxes you have, like I have a number of trapping luxes, but I think I kind of want to head straight to philosophy here because I have enough tiles where I don't need to be I don't need to be working my camps. And I can kind of just work the other stuff. So here, let's grow into that. Very good. Then let's head up. Okay, so that changes. Does that change anything? I kind of still want to settle on it. Yeah, I think I still want to settle on it. Let's go another guy. And we'll do some chops here. Let's get a worker out. Or another worker, rather. Bring this down. This up. I think I want to chop this tile first. Because that way I can then move this over easier. And look. 11 faith per turn, working all hammer tiles. This is why this Pantheon genuinely needs a nerf. Right, and then let's give myself some happiness here. Your land. Then Old Faithful, because I have one extra coconut. Oh, I was wrong. Okay, okay, I got out of turn earlier. My bad. I turned too early. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna chop that. Bring this over. Improve here. Nice. And I can give this now to this city. And chop here. Well, I would say like probably one of the most nice things about stone circles and any type of pantheon that's kind of this strong is that the tiles themselves are just so insane. And if you like, look, I'm able to 2-turn a granary, or I'm almost able to 1-turn this granary while staying, you know, happy or not happy, while not going starving and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Let's give this city the iron. I'm gonna move here because that's where I'm gonna be settling. I don't want to chop that now. Move this over. Actually, no, I don't need to move that over yet. Lots of chops, lots of workers, and all this tempo is just driven by the fact that I have my pantheon up this early. Another worker up. How many am I at? I'm at 3. Okay, let's give myself another happiness. Right. This can probably move over here. We can take this now. Let's go for a shrine. And right here, this is obviously something you want to always be doing, is you want to be rushing this stoneworks. This is three hammers and a happiness in my cap. Crazy amount of value. We can kind of just do whatever now. And then again, we want to do a stoneworks as soon as possible. Bring that over. I'm kind of looking for... I'm surprised I needed trapping. I'm surprised I'm growing this fast. So let's go to trapping. Pillage that. Get the tile in. And then we have a lot of granary tiles there, so let's go granaries. I'm going to be 1-turning that, so that means I can buy that marble. And so now, you know, we're fairly close. I think probably a caravan into Mausoleum makes the most sense, as I'm coming up on my religion on turn 39 or 41, sorry. Similar to what we've been doing in other games, you know. That's a piece here now. Is that going to be building a granary first and then expand? Oh, he's after shrine. If you're Piety though, just grew here, so let's go buy that tile. Okay, that's unlucky. Kind of getting a little careless right now, but it's fine. Can kind of afford to be a little risky, but obviously losing that worker really sucks. And then look at this. Just take the iron back for my capital. We have a 6-turn Maws coming. Ideally, I want to send this to something that has a lot of good tiles to work. So something like Zagreb is great. Then Zagreb can send a caravan back. You know, in these kinds of tall Piety games, you used to be able to want to secure Apo, so that's why you always would go Reformation early. You don't need it, but I've kind of learned to love the increased growth you have, modifier. So I think at this point it's a toss-up between what you take. Oftentimes I find myself taking Mandate because I take an early Mandir or something like that. But Religious Tolerance is also really good, as it's going to help you push through those techs. So let's just take that. It's more consistent. Then look at this. We already got our religions, turn 41. So lots up for us, which is very expected. Following this, you know, there's a lot of different options you have. Oftentimes you're going to want to take feed and something else. So we can do that. I think, you know, like I said, there's a ton of different options. This mostly comes down to the game you're having. I don't think we need feed this game, honestly. I think you could make a case for feed, but oftentimes it's not that important. Um, but usually we want some type of demo, so let's just take feed for consistency's sake here. And then we're gonna go improve our lux, bring this down, bring this down. Oh. Why am I playing like I don't have a fucking working brain? Let's fix that. Oh, okay. That's lucky as fuck. Compose. Thank you, AI. And then we're going to go apostolic. Oftentimes when you're playing... Do I have... Okay, I'm missing one. Should have 3 here. Make sure we're overflowing. So we just finished that. Let's build temples in every single city. And I honestly don't mind chopping temples. I think in general, building them as soon as possible is often what you need to be doing. Especially when you're on tall, because that's a lot of science that you generate. And like, look at these tiles, man. It's just so insane the amount of hammers you have. So we're gonna just put it here so I don't finish that. And then, this can build a caravan for Cap. This can go temple into Oracle, because usually we're able to contest Oracle on these starts. One other thing I'd like to mention, it's kind of, I'd say it's pretty important to these kinds of builds, but oftentimes the goal should be great library early on, rather than contesting. In this case we did mausoleum or something like that, but great library is just such an insane wonder when it comes to apostolic, because it synergizes perfectly with what we're trying to do. And typically, I'll try to opt for it when I can. Just trying to overflow that as much as we can. Cut that back. Bring this over. Okay, finish that. Let's build the stoneworks now. Alright, 44 overflow. I could have swapped that over, but I'm lazy. Probably be a 4 turn on Orc. Still is. Yep, still is. And feed Belgrade. And I mean, you guys could kind of see the ebb and flows of what I'm doing here. I want to get mandate before I spread, but whatever. Ideally, you spread with a you enhance. Sorry. Ideally, you enhance with your Oracle or your Piety finisher or something like that, because you want to be using that early faith for improving your cities. So in this case, I'm trying to do my best to This should have swapped over. And we can work this. I'm trying to do my best to, work all the right tiles and whatnot, but realistically, getting feed into all my cities is the ultimate priority. So, yeah, that's kind of why I'm spreading before enhancing. We got the most important thing about with our enhance, which is apostolic. So once we have apostolic, it doesn't really matter what we do. We can kind of do whatever we want. And you'll see here, the problem is actually the amount of culture we have in each city, right? We're pretty low on culture, and this is why building monuments is so important early on in Piety, if you can. Not you can't every game, of course, but getting them into every city is super, super important. So this is actually an issue. This horse can go fuck off. I'd probably honestly queue like Parthenon here or something. You can kind of do whatever you want. Mandate's good. Like mandate. Mandate is, it doesn't matter because I get my enhancer next turn, and I'm going to be trying to go for a faith enhance. So something like mandirs or pagodas. I don't know. Again, it doesn't really matter. They're all great. Is this going to spread on its own? That's kind of my question. I'm not sure. But right here, we have 4 turns until the tech. What do we want? Do we want mandirs? What do we take mandirs normally? No, because it's 1 lux, 1 lux, 2 lux, 4 lux. So it's not enough for mandirs. Let's just do pagodas. Pagodas are gone. Of course they are. Let's just do mandirs then. And then let's do something like Jizya. Jizya's going to give us a lot of hammers once we finish our Grand Temple. And fuck it, let's just build this right now. Switch this. More hammers. Hammers. You can take that. And are we working all of our luxes in our cap? We are. Great. Let's build mosque. We can buy this now. Improve that. Right, so in terms of like the sim and the goals and whatnot, they're very similar to what we were doing before. At least in terms of like how we were playing the early game, our priority on workers and etc. But I'd say when you get to Piety, it matters less about specific build orders and whatnot, and the priority is more on getting a good religion, identifying your pantheon early on, what you want it to be, and then playing to that out rather than anything else. So let's hope this fucking barbarian doesn't come and pillage my shit, so I can make sure I grow. But yeah, like you'll see here, lots of food. The problem with doing apostolic, and honestly one of the reasons why I've been kind of liking City of God, not more, but they're kind of just different, I'd say, is do I have double marble? I do have double marble, and I have an extra card. Okay, so this should be 2. Is because I can afford to get my sorry, I'm having trouble putting together words. It can be hard to get aqueducts up in time, and it really stunts your growth in that case. So oftentimes I'll find myself just like feeling like I should have just, done something else, but yeah, I hope this has been helpful. We're coming up on turn 60. Already have theology. Already have almost all my libraries up. Really, really rushed through this. Land is very condensed. The only good thing about it is that I'm stone circles. Everything else is kind of bad. But yeah, lots of hammers. That's kind of why we needed food. Mandirs is going to help with the food problem as well. So I don't feel too bad about how my religion went. But as I mentioned before, you know, the main thing I'm lacking here is early aqueducts. And I'd say that's the one kind of thing I don't like about this build compared to the other common one. City of God. Is you just lack the early aqueducts, and that definitely hurts your game. But yeah, I hope this has been interesting or enjoyable or has been helpful in any way. I think Piety has very, very high highs and also very, very low lows. So navigating them properly is always a little tricky. But just like anything, it takes time. And once you kind of find your footing, then it's easy to do anything. Finally, you know, this is an important point. Hammers are obviously quite good, and everything else looks pretty good. But this is an important point. Was what you go second? And honestly, I think the nicest thing about Piety is you can do anything, and it would be right. You know, you're never gonna have. You can't really fail to decide, right? Because you scale so well with the culture gen. You have a lot of different outs when it comes to how you want to win the game, right? I could pick aesthetics right now and have a great time. I mean, honestly, this does look like an aesthetics game. It depends where America. If America settles up here, then probably not. But I mean, I'm kind of trapped in here. I could go Petro very easily. Culture, food, faith. I just haven't met anything yet because I've been so busy dealing with these barbs. But you know, that's not going to happen every game. This is definitely one of those games that just hurts in barb land. But yeah, I think in this game we could go Petro, just have a good time. Could play aesthetics, could do anything. I like aesthetics a lot on Piety. I think it scales incredibly well. I'll be making a aesthetics guide at some point because I see a lot of people not knowing how to play it properly, and it's such a strong tree, especially right now with the honor nerfs and I mean mostly the discipline nerfs. It just makes aesthetics so much more consistent. Yeah, I think it's drastically underplayed in the current tournament. I think, yeah. So let's just look at this. So we're about to finish Grand Temple here. This is the pride and joy of this build. So I kind of wanted to get to this point, and then after that I can kind of do whatever. But I think it's very important to showcase this. Okay, so we are at 60 science, and in our capital we have 31 hammers. So we went up to 72 science and 44 hammers. That is no joke. My God. That is so many yields. And this is the nicest thing about this build is that when you play something like commerce, right? Commerce, very like specifically commerce. When you play something like commerce, your whole game depends on getting certain wonders to give you base gold and merchant points. Piety fixes all of those problems, right? Jizya, and this is why Piety Coast is so strong. It's because something like Jizya. My Grand Temple was giving me 11 base science and a 33% gold modifier, right? That's ridiculous. That's actually insane. We mentioned that taking Zakat is great for Coast, or great for commerce, because Zakat has, you know, 8 base gold, and that base gold carries you through, or it gives you a lot of what you need because when you're commerce, because it increases your base gold, which affects how much your trade routes are worth, right? This is an extra 11 on top of that. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, love Piety commerce, love Piety aesthetics because it lets you buy a ton of great people. I think Piety as a tree is very, very underrated and drastically underpicked. I think it definitely deserves more credit than it's given, and but again, it's one of those things where I mentioned this before, but it just makes you such a target to people who are looking to be aggressive in their games. You know, people are gonna see that you're Piety, and they're just instantly gonna be like, okay, I need to kill him. Like, I just need to kill this person because he's gonna be too scary later on. So, you know, for that reason, it kind of sucks. But generally speaking, you know, those you can't like play around that. Like, oftentimes if that's the case, they're gonna be scared of you anyway. So, yeah, not a big deal. Let's just see when we get unis because I'm curious. A lot of these are gonna be one-turn texts. Let's give this to Belgrade. Give this to Belgrade. Workshop. And then I think I have all my mandirs bought, so we can just plant this now. You know, typically it's just best to plant on something that you're working. I don't like planting on stone in general. I don't like planting on camps because camps get gold. So let's just plant it on this. Actually, yeah, let's just plant it on this horse. Look at that tile. So good. Culture just went up by 3. We'll be able to almost. I think we might be able to 2-turn that actually. So this to Kuwait. This to Kathmandu. Let's buy a missionary. This workshop can now instead be worked. This is going to be a lot of food in Zagreb once we get civil. Are we close to 2-turn? Yeah, we're going to get 2-turn that. That's awesome. Then let's make sure we 2-turn it by taking this back. And you know, this doesn't matter. Maybe just happiness. Could buy this. City state. I want to make sure I grow there, so let's fort it. I didn't trade this tile away. Okay, I finished it. Nice. So it's turn 70. Just finished NC. Gonna get 73 unis, it looks like. Nothing crazy, but given my early barb troubles, I think this is totally reasonable. We can bring this back potentially. Yeah. I think so. The point is, even in any game, right? Like, people could argue that this wasn't Piety or this could have been Trad or something like that, and you're right. But the point I'm making when I'm making these videos is that I think Piety, one of Piety's greatest strengths is being able to load into any game. I did not scout this game. I did not do anything. I kind of just loaded in, saw stone, and was like, okay, this could be a Piety game. And that's all it takes. to be Piety. Like, just a good Pantheon that you want, and you can just always pick it. And it's so consistent. Especially when you have Stone Circles and stuff like, and obviously Stone Circles is like the best Pantheon in the game right now, but like, okay, think about it. I have 3 total stone. The rest of my stone are in the form of marble, obsidian, and another marble. And marble in general is not, or like marble, like the stone is what makes Stone Circles good, not necessarily the marble, right? So with that in mind, like this is just very, very, very strong. You know, we're gonna. Okay, I'm 1 science off. Are you kidding me? Okay, I can definitely grow. Yeah, let's just grow. At least I hope I can finish this. It might be 1 off. It might be 0.5 off. Let's see. It's a lot of overflow. 85 overflow into a stable. Okay, nice. We got it. So 73. Get 3-turn Anchor. You know, this 100% have just been aesthetics and just because I'm getting so many wonders. But like, look at the demos, right? Like, it's like this is 4 cities. You know, just insane. Such a good Pantheon, such a good setup in general. This is what makes Piety. This is what you should be looking for when you're playing Piety. I know a lot of people have been asking for Stone Circles games. This is exactly what they should look like, in my opinion. Additionally, if we look at what we could have done on a different Pantheon, right? Let's say we didn't have Stone. I think just taking any other Faith Panth is really good, right? One of the nice things about Stone Circles, especially, is that you can get the religion super fast, right? That's like one of the main draws, at least for me. We can kind of get the religion really fast anyway. But if we took like a Faith Panth or something like that. Obviously, it's not going to be as strong, but, you know, this is like more of like a high roll thing and etc. But, you know, taking a Faith Panth, getting a good religion, getting pagodas instead of mandirs would have helped a lot with pop. Right? I think that's the main problem right now is our pop's pretty low because it's so hammer dense. But we're going to be scaling so fucking much. Feed the World is going to be putting in so much work. So, yeah, and then I can just trade these off. Right? Lots of food. But, yeah, again, this is supposed to be a short video, so I'm going to stop it here. But I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys kind of have a better idea on how to play Tall Piety. It's much easier to play than Wide, so if you're struggling with Wide, go watch that video instead. But Piety is nice because it's always pickable. You can literally always go into a Piety game and then feel, okay, like I can play however I want to play. I don't have to play this religion. I don't have to do anything. Piety is so flexible. This is as stock standard of a religion as it gets pretty much for tall play. But you can make any changes and it's hard to say that you'd be wrong to make them. That's kind of at least one of the draws to me about Piety, where it's like, okay, anything I do, I can make an argument for. So, anyway, that's all I got. Let me know if you have any questions below. But after this, I think that, you know, we finished the guide on all of the trees. If you guys have any questions at all, do not hesitate to ask me. You know, feel free to join my stream and ask questions. I'm always willing to help. But hopefully this improve and okay, then this is another thing. I know this is 100% multiplayer focused channel, but if you are someone that plays a lot of deity games, I would probably be picking Piety in every single one of them because it's so consistent. The AI makes such bad religions that I can pretty much always guarantee what I want. And it makes me, and I can play tall, which is great for deity because when you're playing deity, you know, you don't want to be overly aggressive or else the AI is going to hate you. So I love Piety for that reason in deity games. I don't really play them, but, you know, if I did, I've only played a handful, but whenever I played them, I'd always kind of lean into playing Piety here. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one where we're going to be talking about maybe tourism. You guys want to learn how to win tourism? Why don't you leave a comment below on what you'd like to see? I have a long list of topics to cover, but I'm always kind of, I mean, up until this point at least, I was always kind of unsure of where, people wanted me to go next. So if you have any requests or if you want to see something specific, feel free to leave it below, and that could increase the priority at which I would cover it normally. So yeah. If you've made it this far, say quack. Type the word quack in chat. I'm kind of curious to see who makes it this far and who doesn't. But yeah, thanks everyone for the support. Thanks for joining the streams and everything. I haven't been able to play Civ much, and it's unfortunate that I'm probably not going to make it to qualifiers or out of qualifiers in the tournament because I just haven't played enough games. But it is what it is. I'm kind of excited to see someone else win the tournament because me and Achilles aren't playing. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone.